Good morning, everybody. I am Kala Molly, and I am hoping to share with you a little bit about some of the questions that I've been hearing from people who are new to the path of self-realization. I live in Davis at the moment, but I'm part of a worldwide movement of people dedicated to the search for truth, called Ananda, and that is why Paramhansa Yogananda is behind me, because he is the inspiration for Ananda, and he's author of the Autobiography of a Yogi, which many people have read or know someone who's read, or maybe even have the book and haven't read it. And basically, I just wanted to share with you this beautiful theme that I've been hearing come from these individual souls. And one of the things that amazes me the most is just how inherent our wisdom is in each one of us as we kind of waken up to a new way of living where we're going more internal in our search for joy and happiness that's lasting and for meaning and for purpose. And so most of the people that I've been fortunate enough to speak with, they're experiencing their own journey where they come to a point where they say, I want to find truth. I want to know what this life is really all about. And the main theme that I just felt was so powerful that I had to share it was the idea of the choice. And the choice is our ability to choose positivity, choose joy, or to choose a different attitude, somewhat negative, or that pulls our energy downward, that brings us outside of ourselves, that's those bad habits that we are trying to break, that keeps us from feeling higher consciousness and living in joy. And someone put it beautifully that I was speaking with, that spirituality is knowing that we want to choose, that we want to be able to make the right choices and do this in a meaningful way. And specifically, one thing that came up was the power of yoga to help us with this choice. And in fact, just yesterday, a beautiful woman who I work with came up to me and said, I tried yoga last night, and it made a huge difference in my stress. She told me that she went to class feeling really upset about something, and it was her first time trying a certain type of yoga that's for more relaxation and meditation. And she said that while she was there, she felt herself go very deep and get very still, and she felt her consciousness transform. And she said, I want to make yoga something I do every day to keep myself positive, to keep myself feeling peaceful, and so that she doesn't feel these emotional reactions affecting her in her daily life, that she has control and strength to overcome any negativity. And another individual said, I don't really want to practice yoga because it seems so physical, and it seems so much about the body being able to get into these crazy poses and being able to be really fit, and I just want to meditate. And we had this conversation about how, well, true yoga, the meaning of yoga is union. And what is union? It's our soul being united with the spirit, the greater spirit. This is something that Yogananda gave a wonderful metaphor for, which is we're little drops of the ocean of spirit. Our soul is the little drop, and the ocean is this beautiful fabric woven together of all of us connected. And so this was a beautiful way for us to talk about how true yoga is not just asana or poses, but it's the philosophy, the eternal truths. And these truths come from inner realization, but the great yogis, the saints and sages of India, are the ones who really took it upon themselves to practice yoga, to create the science of yoga in the laboratory of their own experiences. And so one of the things that we talked about was how yoga gives you the ability to make the right choice. Yoga is not just being able to do sun salutations, but it's also being able to have right attitude, or being able to say, this is the habit I want to strengthen because it continues to lift my energy up every day. It's helping me choose light. And there was this other beautiful soul who I was fortunate enough to be introduced to by the universe, I would say. And he and I were talking about how it's so important, and this is someone who I just was so happy to have been able to meet, because they were just discovering spirituality and the path that's revolving around this choice. And he was saying that we basically get to choose light or we choose darkness, and it's in ourselves, this battle, and it's all around us. And this was so exciting to hear because the great Indian scripture called the Bhagavad Gita speaks to this concept, and it's basically a metaphor for all of us as individual souls on a journey that's really truly a battle between light and dark within ourselves. And so yoga, along the way, is also part of this. It's like the inherent practice that we can be doing to help us succeed in victory and to be spiritual warriors. And so we talked about how the more that you serve the light, the more that you choose the light, the more the light will help you and come to you and help you draw more light, whether that's other people or habits in yourselves. And we talked about how when you choose darkness, how those choices bring you down. They make you not want to practice your yoga, practice your meditation, be the right attitude, get into moods, so on and so on. And it just felt like the world is waking up. The more tragedy and hardships that people are facing or being exposed to, because we are so connected with the way we have the internet and social media, we can see these things happening real time now. It just makes it so that we are feeling the necessity to have tools that will help us make the right choice to live in joy and to share it with others. So thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope that you feel inspired to share this message with others. It's really important right now that people everywhere understand that there is a way out of this delusion of chaos and anger and fear and negativity and hurt, pain and suffering, and that there is a way to feel joy no matter what's happening around us, and that is through yoga and the search for truth, like what is real, what is really my nature, and how can I achieve that, my higher self, and realize who I really am. So thank you so much, and I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day.